chase Lee Hockey with the blue futon, and out of the box, or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, I can't spin it, pew, 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 we have The Mummy Returns, the notorious, The Rock Scorpion King scene. Does it hold up in 4K? Let's find out. The Mummy Returns. What's it about? It's a very simple premise, actually. I want to say it's about 6 to 8 years in the future. Fraser, Rachel Weisz, now has a kid. And now they're in UK trying to live the good life of like doing museum work and everything like that. However, they get sucked in because Imhotep has returned, and now they got to go back and try to kill Imhotep. So, did I like this movie? This is a huge downgrade from the first one, unfortunately. They try to add way too many characters, way too many CGI effects. This is where the studio, I think, went way too hard into this movie of like, we are going to put our fingers in the pots, fingers in the cookie jar, hands in the cookie jar. That's what I think Universal did with this one, and it was a huge fault. They knew they had a hit on their hand with the mummies, so they said, you know what, we're going to try to go bigger is better in The Mummy Returns, and almost do a carbon copy of the bigger is better, and it just doesn't work. With that, I will give the positive of the movie. The chemistry completely works. Rachel Weisz, Brendan Fraser, the chemistry works. I still think the directing and some action set pieces in this movie is extremely strong. The double-decker bus scene, really good. And with that, we were adding the guy with sexy long hair. Like I said in the first review, he does have a more part in this movie because they realize he's a good character and we need to bring him back. So they did that. That's very positive for doing that part. Other than that, it's hard to say a lot of other good stuff. You can say, yeah, this is The Rock's first showing, and he did a good job as a Scorpion King as a human. But when we go to the back end of the CGI in this movie, something just didn't click. So let's talk about the negatives, the CGI. What they try to do with the water face, which is almost a carbon copy of the sand face, that didn't really work. Also, this new plane character, this new hydrogen balloon, and that looking into this weird grassy plains with a mummy, with pyramid, that just doesn't work, and it didn't look good at all. Especially with the transfer to the 4K, it was not a... The transfer was fine, but the CGI wasn't fine. It didn't... You could tell it's very dated in this movie. It's very curious what happens when you have like The Mummy 1 and The Mummy Returns, how that just changes. And you're just like, what happened in the post-production to get it to that level? Also, the CGI at the very end. The Rock Scorpion King just doesn't work, especially with the close-up. Everyone knows this scene. So I'm not going to say anything else about it because you know it, I know it, I don't need to rehash it. And the story for this one just didn't feel as fresh. It just very much felt carbon copy. And it's very disappointing because you have a movie that's super cheesy fun, super rewatchable in the first one. But when you put in the second one, you're like, I'm pretty sure I could be one and done with this one. And that is not a good feeling when you're making a movie based on a really, really good first one that's kind of an original, if you want to put it that way, even though they had a mummy movie. But this was supposed to be an action romp, and it works. So unfortunately, overall, The Mummy Returns, yeah, there's some good chemistry, and there are some good action set pieces when they're in the UK. But when you get to that second half where it's like a CGI gore fest, a lot of it doesn't work. A lot of it doesn't look good. And the story just goes into a bonkers way. And at the very end where someone dies and he's just like, no, it's like, that was very, very cheesy. He's just like, no! And you're just like, eh. So The Mummy Returns will receive a 2 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 40%. So these are the critics and user scores gave this one. So you have the critics, a 47% with 141 of them. Audience score is 63% with over 250,000. Here's critic consensus. In The Mummy Returns, the special effects are impressive, but the characters seem secondary to a computer-generated imagery. I have to agree, they went full-fledged CGI in this one. At least in the first one, you could tell there was miniature set pieces, and they try to do that from like 0.0001 seconds in the movie until the 2-hour mark. For Mummy Returns, they went kind of realistic, and then CGI fest galore. So anyway, 47, 40, or 63. I'm kind of shocked it's actually at a 47, personally. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think is Booftopia. You Booftonians. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And we're going to watch the third one, but I realize the Scorpion King isn't part of this. I find that very fascinating.